Hey guys, how's it going? Happy Friday, everyone. All right, I am just getting us all set up. We're getting all three screens. All right, we've got, how are my webinar peeps doing? Cool. You guys, thanks for joining today. Hey, Leanne. Leanne from Boston, welcome. I love it. All right, we're live now on Facebook. We've got the webinar up and running. And now we're just waiting on Instagram. Very cool. Happy Friday. We made it, right? I made it, most importantly. These webinars, I love doing them like so much, but it's been like more of a thing. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta get ready. I gotta maybe put some makeup on, which I normally don't do. So here we are. You're welcome. And I hope you guys have had such a great week. I have been loving so much this process, and just getting to connect with so many of you, just being able to talk about this thing that, again, nobody talks about, at least not in common, in our common conversations or daily conversations, but it's something that is so meaningful. And so it's the underwiring of a healthy life is sort of breaking all of this stuff down of aside from the food, aside from the workouts, all the things that we always hear about, and actually getting to the internal stuff that lies beneath it. And truly so much about the mindset, so much about you getting out of your own way, about feeling different fears and being uncertain of doing yet again another thing or another program, but doing it differently, right? By actually getting to the root core things that need to be shifted first in order for a healthy lifestyle to happen and for it to be something that actually sticks. So if you guys are just joining today, I love the hearts. I love the waves. Just say hi. If you're tuning in on the webinar, come say hi. I just like to make sure everything's working on the back end of tech. You never know. And hopefully we'll have the replay of this so that those of you that can't join live can watch this later over on the YouTube channel. Hey guys. Okay, good. So everyone can see, we can all hear. And so just a reminder, again, if you're why is she popping up? Why did I just get a notification? What's she doing now? This week we've been breaking down the 5 steps to creating and designing a healthy lifestyle that lasts, and kind of trying to help you guys start to break down what that actually means, because it is so much more than just food, and it is so much more than just your food and workouts and the physical side of things. Being healthy requires being mentally healthy, emotionally healthy, physically healthy, and then even spiritually healthy too. Yeah. Oh, you guys are saying hi. Hi, Liz. Hi, Kate. Hi, Jacqueline. Thanks, you guys. It's such a weird self. Yeah. If anybody else is home with me right now, I'm what is she doing? Thank you guys for being here. So a little recap of the things we've been talking about this week, because it has been in celebration of and trying to kind of break down and share with you some of the principles of the Simply Real Life program, which is my group program that's 6 weeks long. It gets started next week. The cart closes on Wednesday, but tomorrow is actually when the early bird bonuses end. So if you're kind of on the fence and not sure, the price goes up after tomorrow, and then all the little extra bonuses go away, including a gift patty, a gift patty, a goodie gift basket of all my favorite healthy things and healthy tools and little resources and little things that I love. So that is happening tomorrow. So if you guys are on the fence and not really sure, I still have some questions today, but we will definitely want to get into the 5th step, right? These are short, quick, 10, 15-minute workshops, and then those of you that want to can hang around for a little bit to ask some questions if you have them. Okay, so breaking down these principles, we started with 1 being number 1. Step 1 has to be transitioning to all real food. Everything else that happens after it will become so much easier if you just transition to real food first. It doesn't mean being perfect at it. It doesn't mean that you're now now on this real food only strict diet, it just means for the most part that you start to begin upgrading most of the things in your life, the things that are like around the most, the things that are in your car and in your purse and at your desk and in your pantry, that you just start to like think about upgrading them. Maybe it's a little bit slowly over time, right? I'm not saying you have to throw everything out and like completely start over, but just as you start to run out of things, let that be a principle that starts to help guide you into a much better way to think about being healthy, where it's very stable. It's not going to like change. It's not based on a fad. It's just based on pure and simple and real food. So no matter who you are, if you're like here and you've been like, you somehow appeared here, you don't even know why, that let this be something that you can take into your life now. I don't care if you're doing the program with me or not, but like this is for everybody. And I really want to encourage you all to take some action on these steps in whatever way is helpful for you and whatever way is the most meaningful in your life. Okay, so that's number one, is transition to real food. Number two is redefining what it actually means to feel good. So many of us really don't like know how bad we feel necessarily until we start cleaning some things up, getting some of the clutter out. And I mean clutter food, but I also mean like clutter behaviors, clutter thoughts, things that like keep you stuck in your own mind, they keep you stuck in the same place in life and prevent you from growing. Like having this full, beautiful, healthy life requires that you step into being committed to growth and being committed to your own self-development. And I get like so passionate about this because I see it all the time of people that are like, yeah, I really want that, but like, I'm not willing to do anything different. You know, of like, convince me why I need to do this. This is like, it has to come from a deeper level inside of you of committing to yourself because you are worth it, because your life is worth it, because your time on this earth is short, that you have to be committed to continually growing, that you can't eat the same way as maybe you did as a teenager. And that's okay. That is normal. Like learning to eat like a grown adult is so much different than every other way that we've been taught to think about food. So committing to do this for long-term growth, of doing it once so that you never have to like keep swinging back and forth from doing all the things and then getting confused and then everything conflicts. It's just like a really chaotic way to live. And I don't think it has to be like that. It can actually be so much more simple, but you have to have this mindset of like redefining what it feels like to feel good. So eating real food will start that process for you. And it's why I spend 2 weeks in the 6-week program going through the food pieces of like answering every single question you have about every single type of food, every single type of situation, but real life situations. This is not like life in a bubble of like, okay, when it's ideal, please eat this way. But like, no, like we get down and dirty of like, what do you do in this situation when you're going to your boss's house for dinner and like they eat this type of food, or your in-laws, or like the types of things where we find ourselves in these situations and you're like, wait, what would I do now? Or what would be like the better solution or option? Because there are always better solutions and options, ways that will help you like navigate the world, navigate food, and navigate your relationships, therefore, in a much more like productive, simple, low-key, chill, healthy, happy way. Okay, that's really like what this is all about. So, okay, we're going to real food. Step 2 is redefining what it feels like to feel good. Like allowing yourself to actually feel good is something that happens when you upgrade your food and you clear out the clutter in your life. Does that make sense? Hey, I love the waves, you guys. Thank you for like, honestly, for just being here, but for saying hi, not just like sitting back and being an observer, but like taking part in this conversation, you know, and like just all of this stuff is so true. And well, it may not be like the most fun thing to hear because you may hear some parts of it. You're like, I'm totally doing that. Or maybe that's why it's never really worked in the past. Or maybe that's why things have not really been sticking. To kind of get in our own way back and we're like sort of little bystanders. Okay. I'm like all heated today. Sorry, guys. I really care like a lot about this. Okay, so step number 3 is just getting out of autopilot, realizing that our brains like literally will fire the same exact ways. We will want to do things the same exact way, eat the same exact things, go through our routines. but a lot of them could be keeping us stuck and preventing us from growth, preventing us from learning even more about our bodies. So, because we take ourselves wherever we go. So, you want to be in a place where you are actually beginning to understand why your body, why your body needs what it needs, what it's saying, when it's hungry, what types of food it does best with under the like umbrella of real food, because every person is a little bit different. So that's why diets don't work, is because every person is so different. Everybody does better with real food because your way our brain is what you digest. But within that, there's little intricacies that are so worth knowing because, hello, like you are going to be like the same internally. So you might as well learn it. It will make everything else easier. And there's a process to this. Like there is a way that like I teach of like, okay, so these are the things you can actually do in your day right now to start this like nebulous process of like getting in tune with your body. I used to like hate it when people would say that, like, oh, I just listen to my body and I just eat intuitively and it's so easy. But it's not easy, but there's a route to do it that makes it so much more clear, right? Like you never have to be confused again. And like how nice would that be to go through the rest of your life knowing the things that you tend to do great with and those that you don't, along with people, behaviors, habits, and patterns, like how you go about your day, the timing of things. Maybe you're somebody that actually doesn't do great with breakfast, but you've been so trained your whole life that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Like how life-changing really could that be to actually start paying attention to what's happening instead of relying on external cues and external rules and all these like other things that are being given to us as solutions, but really just covering up the problem that we are so disconnected from ourselves. Yeah. Okay. You guys, thanks for the waves and the hearts and the comments. Oh yeah. Okay. The passion's okay. Thanks, Anita. Okay, so that is the third step, getting out of autopilot, right? Like stopping from getting in our own way. So much of this is a part of this. I hope you can see how these pieces are starting to connect. There's a lot of the same similar themes here. Okay, so the piece that we talked about yesterday, right, was like starting to pull some of these things together of like why this matters in the context of your life, and how it really, like talking about this in real life, of talking about the piece of like, well, what happens if you feel like you are pretty healthy and for the most part you are eating real food, but like there's still some sort of disconnect happening where like you could look down and the entire bag of tortilla chips is gone, or like you buy the dark chocolate with sea salt, like fancy great chocolate at the store, but like it's gone in 2 days, or like the mindless picking off of your kid's plate, or in my Instagram post yesterday, so many of you guys commented like, oh my god, this is me, like this is me, how did you know this is exactly what I do? It's because I used to do the same things too, of like, but it's healthy, but I only like shop at Whole Foods, or I don't understand like why, yes, it's considered real food, so why am I like, not it's the behavior around the food, right? It's the things that we're maybe using food for everything other than being actually truly hungry. We're not taught about this. We're not trained. Like most of us grow up in a way, like even with the best intentions, that food is meant as a reward. Food is given as a treat. Food is given as a distraction. Food is meant as a celebration. Food is meant like for so many other things. It's like if you don't know what to do, snack, right? And you can see it. You can see it when we like walk around the airport. People are literally eating at all hours of the day because it is so like that is just the way that our culture sort of runs. So much of that step 4 is like trying to truly see and be able to like recognize at least what's going on. That it just means that there's some sort of disconnect, that you didn't really learn maybe how to actually feel some of the other emotions in your life, or that you do feel uncomfortable, or you do feel distracted, or you feel bored, or you feel lonely, or you feel upset, that all of those things, if we're not taught how to like move through them and actually feel them and release them and let them go, that we end up using food as this crutch in our life. Okay, so this is like, we're getting into like the first 2 weeks of the Simply Real Life program are definitely food focused. And then then it like switches into like this emotional part of talking about your hunger and talking about clutter and talking about autopilot and talking about how to really like map out your day so that you are giving yourself the best chance of like breaking some of these habits and things that keep us stuck forever. So it's the much deeper inside work, but it's something that it's like when you're able to make that, it doesn't go away. Right? It doesn't go away. You don't, it's really hard to go backwards in that process once you do become aware. It's like this whole other world opens up, and that's why it makes it something different than just another like program or just another diet, because it's giving you the actual tools to like, this is what you do when you feel like you're freaking out. This is what you do when you feel like you got an email that triggered you, or a person that triggered you, or some circumstance that like normally you would probably distract or drown yourself or use food or drink too much wine, or even like online shop, right? Like all the numbing, or go scroll through social media. Like all of that is related to not being able to be fully present and connected with yourself and feeling all of the feelings in your life. Okay, I'm just realizing I'm like going way over today. So if you do, I'm like fired up. Sorry. This is what you get on Friday, of just like hearing and collecting all of these stories. This is something that means obviously so much to me, because it has been the thing that I was looking for so long, the thing that like actually changes how your brain is firing, and like the neurons and your neural pathways and the psychology behind it. If you want to make a change, it's required work to do this side of it. Okay, that's all I mean to say. Okay, hi guys. Thanks for sticking with me. Okay, so we're getting to number 5, the thing that you've all been waiting for. So when we were talking about this yesterday, like the mindlessness and like the just in like pure routine or stuffing other things down, it's not to say, and all of like yesterday and last night I was feeling like sort of weird, because I'm like, it's not that I don't like, if any of you follow me on Instagram, like I love rosé, I love really good ice cream, I love chips and guacamole, like I love taco night, I love like, like I don't know, like what else do I love? I love things that are real food based, but I am so clear on the things that bring me joy, the things that matter to me, the things that I love, and the things that I'm obsessed with. And that's what I leave the room for. And as long as I do those in real food versions, that is such an easier way to think about like having a good relationship to food, because you're actually getting rid of and clearing out so much else, like clearing out the rest of the clutter. And so in order to have this more joyful, like this last step is bringing more joy. And how do you actually do that? And how do you actually, now that you've cleared sort of stuff out and you're so much more aware and in tune, you can then start to like, well, what do I actually love, right? And what makes me feel so celebratory? And what do I love every bite of or every sip of? What makes life worth living? Like those are all a part of living a healthy life too. So it does require like having joy. It's not that you have to be so serious about it all the time. And I think that is sometimes what's missing, is this like lightheartedness and this ability to really like celebrate and enjoy and love really good things, and like that is part of the beauty of life too. So I just want that to be like the sort of finishing piece. Again, in the program, it's 6 weeks long. We get into so much more. This is just like the high level surface of like little tastes of each thing. But we really dive into like the details, the specifics, and then more importantly, like how to actually put that into practice in your real life. So signing up for a 6-week program, I've had some people be like, well, I'm traveling, or like I'm going to do this, or I know it's a busy week. Like, none of that matters. I have written it in a way where it's like you're doing weekly podcasts that you can take. It's just 1 hour every week that you're listening to this information. And then we meet together once a week, just like this, like live Q&A style, face to face. You guys can submit questions you have before. You can ask them like live on the call. And we just sort of talk through some of the more details that we do our learning sort of on our own time, and then come together and are able to like talk through and, you know, listen to like more examples and really make it super practical in your daily life. So if this is something that you guys are interested in, or you have not yet checked out the program page, it's at simplyreallifeprogram.com. And that you'll find all of the details there, the schedule, all of the calls are recorded. It's really, truly meant to be like for the busy person, because I get it. That's also how my life is. But that doesn't mean that if you're committed to making this time and making the commitment to yourself to grow, to be your best self, and to truly like be committed to your self-growth and self-development, if you have that, that's all you need. The commitment and what it takes and the assignments they're fun and they make you engage with it, but in fun, lighthearted ways, because this is not so serious. This is about food and your life and how beautifully like the whole things are, both of them are connected. So if that is at all, you know, an interest of yours, make sure you check it out, because the early bird rate expires tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific, and then the price will go up. The cart closes for the year on Wednesday. So just so you guys know, it's out there. And if it's not right for you, not the right time, you don't feel ready, like you still are getting in your own way and you're fine staying there for a while, or if, you know, other reasons. So I just want to have that out there as just so you know that it's an option. I would love to have you, but I only am wanting the people who are actually ready to do the work. And yes, there's a question, is there a Facebook group? Yes. This program is available remotely, worldwide, anywhere. It runs for 6 weeks live. I mean live because I am coaching and teaching live. So, and I am like involved in the group, and you can ask any questions and you get my email. Like I'm fully walking you through. It's just like I do in personal coaching, but you get the added bonus of like weekly calls where you're learning from other people too and from their experiences. So, it is so doable no matter where you live. If you have at least like an hour and a half a week to dedicate to your self-growth, and this is something that resonates with you in any level, I do it on purpose membership. So you do it once, and then I literally have, I think we probably have like 25 alumni already like doing this next round, just because they like doing it. They got so much out of it. It's something they look forward to, and they reconnect. And there's something special about having a community of people too that are committed to their health in this way and growth in this way too. Okay, well, all right. I know that so many of you probably have to go. I'm like going way over today. I am so sorry, but I hope that this was helpful, and even the recap was helpful. On Tuesday, I'm going to pop in again at 3 p.m. Pacific, and that will be kind of like our last wrap up, because again, the program closes on Wednesday, and then I take my peeps and we run and we really dig into things and keep it really fun in the whole process. So I'll stick around now. If anybody has any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them about any of the things that we've covered this week, any of the things about the program specifically, or anything else. I have a couple minutes before I have to pop on my next call. Does anybody else? I'm just scrolling through here. Where's my Facebook piece? I'm sorry. Facebook is in a little different window. Okay. Bill's here. Leanne's here. Jessica. Chris. Oh, hey, guys. Whitney. Okay. Hopefully you knew what you're getting yourselves into, right? And you clicked over. Also, if you feel inclined and if this has helped you, let me know. Or if you feel like there's topics that you would love to see covered too in the future, let me know. I love teaching and sharing, especially things that I feel like I've gone through the hard way. And it's taken me so many years of my life to learn certain things. I always want to help like speed that process up as much as possible. Okay. I love you guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and make sure you sign up for the early bird if it's something that calls to you and that you feel like would be a great fit. And if you have any questions, feel free to you can direct message me on Instagram. You can send a message to hello@simplyrealhealth.com. Again, all the details are on simplyrealhealth.com and simplyreallifeprogram.com. Okay, I love you guys so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. And I will see you guys on Tuesday at 3 p.m.